Good morning, everyone. Well, one of my favourite stories is about the time a vicar got a nasty letter from one of his parishioners. She didn't pull any punches in telling him just what she thought about him, and she complained in great detail about the way he was messing everything up in the parish, about all the people he'd offended, how he was the worst vicar she'd ever met, etc. The list went on and on and on of all the bad things that he was doing. And maybe she thought, in writing to him in this way, that she was being helpful, perhaps. Maybe she thought that the parish should be saved from bad vicars like him. So on receiving this letter, what did the vicar do with it? Well, he read it out in front of everyone on Sunday morning during the service. So everyone got to hear all the things that this lady had written about him, how he'd been an awful vicar, all the bad things that he'd done, all the people that he'd offended, etc. Everyone heard every drop of venom and bile. And when the vicar finally finished reading this letter out to everyone, he concluded by saying, "So thanks for that, Mary." Now, I don't know what Mary thought at that point, or what she said. I also don't know whether she continued to come to church after that happened during the Sunday service. And I imagine that after the vicar said that, many people in the congregation would no longer have taken her for the sweet old lady that they previously thought that she was. But if Mary had been paying attention during the many years in which she'd come to church, she might have realised that writing a letter like that was a high-risk strategy. Because hadn't Jesus said that what is covered up will one day be uncovered, and that what is secret will one day become known? In reading out the letter, the vicar was just simply illustrating something that's been known from the New Testament from the beginning, proclaiming it from the housetops, as Jesus also said. If you're going to be nasty to someone in secret, a day will come when everyone will hear about it. That's what the Lord was saying. I think that the advantages of being a Christian greatly outweigh the disadvantages. Christianity comes with the guarantee of the presence of Jesus with us in this life, and also the promise of an eternity spent with him afterwards. And in learning something about the mystery of God, we also learn something of the mystery about who we are. So there's many advantages in being a Christian, great advantages. But the downside of being a Christian is that there is never a time when we are completely alone, and that God is always watching us when we do good things, and also when we do bad things as well, like when Mary was writing her letter to the vicar. And Frank Skinner was once asked what he thought about surveillance culture, the fact that we all spend much more time on camera than we realise, that people are observing us more than we think. And Frank Skinner said these days he had no problem with surveillance culture. Since becoming a Christian, he had to accept that his life was like that all the time. God was always watching him. He was always under surveillance because God was seeing everything. There's nothing that we can do that isn't concealed from the eyes of God. And that includes the nice things we do, but also includes the nasty things we do to our neighbours. I'm reminded at this point of the story of St. Peter. He denied Jesus 3 times in the courtyard, and he presumably thought at that time that no one was watching. But then we're told in the Gospel that the Lord turned and looked at Peter. Jesus had been watching all the time. And afterwards, Peter went out, wept bitterly. These days, the truth seems to be in short supply. It's not really clear to us what happened at 10 Downing Street during Partygate, for example. And what's going on between Russia and Ukraine is also unclear. The rival claims of propaganda seem to obscure everything. We're not even sure about the truth about ourselves. I thought I'd done one thing when my friends told me that actually I'd done something completely different. My memory perhaps isn't as good as it used to be. So the truth, what the truth is, isn't always clear. But amidst the changes and chances of this fleeting world, one thing at least is changeless, and that is God. And one day, His truth and the truth about us will out. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit.